motion to accept the agenda with these changes submitted? Got a motion, I need a second. Got a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say so by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, approval of minutes. Did everybody get their minutes? Wow, we got that email down pat now. That's all right. So, any changes, deletions, additions, or discussion on the minutes?
Tom Hughes called me, and I had him as doing the facilities update report.
Who?
Tom Hughes, the architect, SFOA. He was here, and I should have had him at the top saying also attending. And but I wanted to make sure that I said that, but I need to include that in the minutes, and we'll update it for that. So anything else? Any
problem with that change in the minutes? No. Hearing none, I ask a motion to accept the minutes as they've been submitted. Motion second. Second. Jimmy Swift. Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say so by saying aye. Any opposed? Expenditures are on the table in front of you. Other than these construction projects, I don't know of anything that's out of the ordinary. Of course, everything could be considered out of the ordinary, but looks like business as usual. Studying the expenditures, I would like to compliment the group of kids from Lakeview that won the academic challenge. I had the pleasure of going to the Dillon 4 meeting last night and meeting and greeting these kids. 10 of them, is that right?
10.
Right. 10 of them.
10.
And they were very impressive. And I thought they handled themselves very well and did a great job. So I commend Lakeview, all the teachers and principals and people that had a part to play in that. That is really amazing. The list of schools that they beat, and coming from a small school as Lakeview, that system is impressive, to say the least. Bruce, what was the winning question?
In World War II, who was the commanding officer in charge of the American Army Sicilian campaign?
That would be General George Patton.
George Patton, yes.
And, the school that they were running against had first chance at it and missed it. And one of the kids from Lakeview nailed it.
Pace's, the principal's son, Miss Pace.
Oh, really?
It was her son who.
Okay. So
I called his daddy, that's why he's so small. American government.
Wow. There ain't many of them you haven't though. Including me. Are there any questions on finances? Hearing now, ask for a motion to accept as they've been submitted.
So moved. Second.
Who was the second? Calvin?
Calvin.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion? However, hold your peace. All in favor say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hadn't said this in a long time, but I probably need to say it. Anybody that has any questions on finances, all you have to do is call Mr. Broom and either ask him on the phone or set up an appointment, and he'll research and get you the answers to any questions you may have to do with any financial situation in the Dillon County school system. So please be aware of that. You're not restricted just at this meeting. You can involve yourself with that at any point in time. So. Plus, it's getting to be budget time. So we'll be dealing with that next month. So, okay. Next agenda item will be new business. The only thing I got on the new business is the bank bids. What are we bidding today?
Funds in excess of $1 million. Deposit funds in excess of $1 million.
I've got two envelopes, one from First Bank and one from First Citizens.
What's the good?
What's your local government?
.2650.
I can tell you now. Either that or I'm gonna go visit a banker. 90-day quote on passbook funds in excess of $1 million, letter dated 4/13. This is from First Bank. We bid a rate of .05 on the passbook funds. Thanks for letting us participate, Jackie McKenzie, Vice President. This one's from First Citizens.
I'm not paying any interest today.
You have no feeling in your fingers, just hard to open around the way. Please see the following First Citizens bid, 90 days, rate .10, yield .10. We have an $8 million United States Treasury note pledged as collateral for the Dillon County deposits that is on record with the Dillon County Treasurer's Office, Ray Stevens, Vice President. So we have one that's .05 and one that's .10, and the local government rate is,
.2650.
I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I make a motion to go with the local.
Motion to go with the local government
Second.
fund. Who got the second? Calvin got the second. That's quite a difference.
That's a big difference.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor say so by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I'm doing that because last month I forgot to say it, so I didn't write next to it. Better to hand it to him up front. Next agenda item will be Communities and Schools request. Came in from Miss Brigman from Latta. Communities and Schools annual scholarship reception. It's Thursday, May the 14th, 2015 in Abington Manor in Latta. It's about excellence in education. There are 3 levels of contribution. Silver is $250, gold is $500, platinum is $1,000. This is a sponsorship activity, and the fee will go toward sponsoring the scholarship reception and the scholarship process.
Didn't we do a validation?
Yes, sir.
I make a motion we do second. I'll second that.
I got a motion and a second on 1,000. Any discussion? All in favor say so by saying aye.
I won't get asked about it in IGA now.
Yeah.
You won't believe how many phone calls I've had.
I won't get asked about it in IGA now.
Thank you. We'll keep going because it's not 10 o'clock yet. Old business, we may have to stop in the middle of this to make this contact with Bright Altman, but we will start anyway. School facilities financing update. We do have an update this week. Doug is working on a very special project for us that should save us a considerable amount of money, and I will let Doug explain that because that's his baby.
Ben Ziegler called me, and after the closing of the other thing, and I think they kind of felt sorry for us or felt bad about it. So he called, he said, the other loan that we took out for $4 million, in the first phase, how we were putting all this stuff together, then all of a sudden we had to have an extra loan for $4 million. We can refinance that loan, and over the course of the loan to the payment, to the last payment, we would save $450,000. So he asked would we be interested in that, and I said I'm pretty sure we'd be real interested. As a matter of fact, if he'd let us know exactly what we needed to do, I'm sure we'd be ready to do it whenever he's ready. So I think it really amounts to, because it's over like 18 years left, so it's like $28,000 a year, but over 18 years we were paying it anyway, so we might as well save it, and interest rates aren't going to go down, I wouldn't think, that's for sure. So, but they'll be working on that, and then by the next board meeting, maybe they'll have something that they can, what they can present to us as far as some kind of resolution or anything to say that we're on board to do it.
The interest rate that we originally borrowed that $4 million for was 5.4, 5.5. The new interest rate will be about half that.
Yeah, 3.6 something.
In my opinion, that's a good move to make. I do not know what the cost, and I have asked this, what the cost of this project is going to be. And I will wait on that information before I make an opinion on whether we should go that way or not. But we're asking that question on. I've learned to figure out what it costs to refinance things lately. So that last note got me. So, but we'll let you know by the next board meeting where we're at with all that data and information. That's a good thing. So any other financing?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is another thing. Stewart, I've tried to call him a couple times. Actually, I talked to him about a week and a half. Apparently, they've got a lot of things going on, that it's hard to get in touch with him. But he did call me back this morning after I'd emailed him a couple of messages. And the last time I talked to him, which was a week and a half ago, I told him where we were as far as the money that we had spent out, and the thing about refinancing the thing rather than paying off. And he said we're at a point now where they should be able to go ahead and transfer that money, because they have it set aside to pay off the loan with the USDA money, which if they felt like we're substantially complete, it really should have happened in March. But as early as this morning, probably half an hour ago, I did talk to him and reminded him of that, and he sounded like they were doing what they needed to do. So hopefully within the next month too, the USDA will transfer the funds over, pay the $17 million off, then it'll be our loan with them, plus there's $2 more million that, because we really borrowed $19 million from them, but they only let us do an interim loan for $17 million because they got all these safeguards, which I'm glad to do. That's good. I just wanted to let you know that hopefully within the next month we would be able to pay that extended interim loan off.
Let me ask you something. At what point will we get the $2 million back?
The $2 million, it should be whenever we get there.
When they close the loan?
Because then it'll be, well, I tell you what, they usually hold some money still. So the last time for that phase one, I think they've got like a little less than $1 million they should never transfer to us. That when I asked him, he said that's held by the U.S. Treasury. but whenever we close out, that'll be one of the last things we do. So on this, I don't know if he's gonna give us all of the 19 million or, you know, hopefully close to that, because really that's the reason we can say we're substantially complete, because we've already spent close to that probably 15 out of 70 million.
Also, there was a discussion about the monies that we've already invested of our own money into these projects.
That's what, actually it's about, I think it's $2.6 million. When we did at our own risk, you know, for about 3 years, things like architectural fees and coming fees and then engineering fees and those type of things, we were doing that at our own risk. Well, they've got all the invoices, and hopefully they'll be finished with those, but the last meeting, I think I talked about this, and he said, well, Laura's still working, and Laura, y'all remember, this person who I think Laura's, I don't know why she was out for about a month or a month and a half, but supposedly she's working on this, and she's also working on LIDA. We've got $350,000 out of those invoices that y'all had that were for technology and that type of thing that he's looking at too. So, you know, I would like to think, I'd like to think by next meeting they would have finished that, but it seems like it takes them a long time doing that. I think I said before, when I was an auditor, I cash disbursements test where you look at the expenditure and you look at the backup for it and check it out. I mean, it doesn't take that long if you're concentrating on that and you finish it, you know, like that. So I'm waiting as soon as we know something from them, you know, I'll transfer that $350,000 back to LIDA, and we'll go ahead and
I
send
thought
some more.
the total for LIDA was about 425.
Or what we spent,
Uh-huh.
1.2.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's more than that.
And see, on the invoices, we have $1.2 million worth of invoices.
Okay.
So we did $350,000, and we'll do some more, but it's like, I think in technology for phase 2, there was something like $750,000 or something like that, and that's what we would get it. But it's just, that was just the first step of it, and if Stuart and them will go ahead and sign off on our, do it at our own risk in those things, which I hope by next month he will, you know, we'll feed them some more, and they might be used to it by then and understand that these are not complicated things. It's like computer networking type things that's in every school. I mean, I'm sure they got the best you could get, but I mean, you know, that's not a problem. That shouldn't be a problem for them.
Don't make them mad.
I'm doing that too. I always keep that in the back of my mind as far as trying to put pressure on somebody, for Stuart knows. They really did us a favor, and it's one of those things. I try to be careful and diplomatic, and I'm never aggravated, but on the other side, in my mind, I'm thinking, please just finish this stuff. Do it. So we will.
Okay. School facilities update. I doubt we can do that in 10 minutes. You think or not?
Well, all the way up to LIDA, yes, we probably could.
All the way up to that. In other words, we can do Dillon and Lakeview.
In Lakeview, probably in about 10 minutes.
You want to do that then?
Yes, sir, we'll go ahead and do that. Good morning.
See Calvin, y'all standing out again.
Ron, let me say something too. Tom is not here today. Tom's in some kind of conference, some kind of big conference. Tom and Jason this week are going to be here in Dillon two other times. So, you know, he did send an email saying that, you know, did I think it would be fine? I said if we have any questions, we'll definitely forward them to him. But considering they're going to be in Dillon twice this week, you know.
Yeah, I think we're fine. All right, we'll start with Lakeview projects, starting with Lakeview Elementary School. There, if you want to flip through, there's several updated photos. You're welcome to take a look at. One of them I'd like to point out to you is the cafeteria. And Thurman, they started serving in the cafeteria on what day was it?
It was 3 weeks ago. They
3 weeks ago.
started serving in the cafeteria.
Okay.
Looks good. Everything looks good.
What's left on the contract at Lakeview Elementary School is completion of demolition of the existing cafeteria kitchen, and they're about 3/4 of the way complete with that. We expect that to be done by taken down and cleaned up, and the area leveled back out about mid-May. Should be out of there.
We still have the additional fire lane to add once the buildings are down.
Building's down.
Then final cleanup and the contractors will be out.
Any questions on Lakeview Elementary?
How many kids can this cafeteria feed at a time? Any idea?
What's the number of students?
The occupancy of it, I think, off the top of my head, is like 227.
I think it's around
Take the whole
250.
system. No.
All right, next on the list is the it's Lakeview High School. And if you, as you notice in your report, it's a completed project. We're currently under final closeout, is ongoing. Matter of fact, Thurman said he received closeout documents yesterday or this morning for the project.
This morning, I received closeout documents to go to the architect. The last piece of the puzzle there we completed last month, and that was the repaving of the parking lot between the cafeteria expansion. And it's all now been paved and striped.
Any questions for Lakeview?
Was there a part that had to be repaved? Or
Yes, sir.
Paved wrong?
Yes.
the first
No,
time?
sir, it wasn't paved wrong. What it was, they called for us to overlay the existing asphalt. That asphalt was broken up, it had depressions in it. Had we went and overlaid that existing asphalt within a year, we would have had the same situation. So we worked it out to where we could put new substrate in and then repave the area so that it will last a lot longer.
It looks
It's set up for heavy duty.
It looks good. I looked at it the other day.
And we were able to gain some assistance on funding for asphalt for this one as well. How long it takes, you know how that works, but we were able to gain some access for those, for funding for asphalt. Next on the list is the Dillon High School Auditorium. Thurman, I'm just going to let you jump in because there's so many parts and pieces going on right now, and he's got it all kind of mapped in his head as to where we are and what our expectations are by the 28th of this month.
Okay, on the exterior of the building, I kind of break this thing up into three different parts. The exterior, the district office, and the auditorium. On the exterior, paving and striping is 95% complete. We've got the construction trailer out. Duke has been in there and done all of their rough-ins for the site lighting. We should see light poles go up this week. Landscaping will start tomorrow. If it don't rain. But that might help the grass. On the district office portion, the terrazzo is complete. The VCT has been installed. Carpet has been installed in some areas. We're waiting on delivery for the specialty carpet to come in. And as soon as it comes in, it will be installed. Fire alarm's complete. Systems are complete. We've got one area on the outside there at the entrance where they still have to do the metal panels. They will start the chair rail this week, and then the wainscot chair rail will go into the boardroom and the training room. The auditorium, all the clouds have been installed, the acoustical ceiling clouds, all of the acoustical wall panels have been installed. We have the seating, the auditorium seating is on site, the curtains on site, the projector has arrived on site. They're currently finishing up all of the stage lighting now. We have our OSF above ceiling for the auditorium scheduled for the 28th of this month. We held off installing the seating just in case there's any area he wants to look up in there, he doesn't have an instruction. But as soon as he leaves, the seating will go in. Trazo is complete. ACT ceiling tile is complete. Water is on the building, sewer is on the building, the generator's there. All we're doing is waiting for the inspection, and then we can tie up the final elements. Part of our goal at the inspection is we're going to take him over to look at the district office. We're going to have everything in place that's needed, and we're attempting for a conditional or partial occupancy of the district office. Furniture is scheduled to be delivered, new furniture is scheduled to be delivered May the 4th, the week of May the 4th, and Mr. Rogers and his staff has also asked everybody going to the district office to look at non-essential files and things of this nature, so we can go ahead and get them over there.
So they should occupy it then.
Full occupancy is going to be mid-May. But that will include the auditorium and the district office. And I think the goal is to, what they're striving for is after school is out, is when they'll move district office personnel.
There'll be a couple of moves going. I've been coordinating a little bit with Paul on that. Somewhere first week, second week of June, is to bring the remaining items over.
You said generator. Is it LP gas generator or
No, sir, it's diesel generator.
diesel? Where's the tank?
It's built into the generator.
It's built into the system.
It's only like a 50, 75 gallon tank.
What?
It's only like a 50 or 75 gallon tank.
How long will that run?
I'm not sure.
Not long.
Not very long, no.
You hope it doesn't have to be that long.
I think that's the tank capacity. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I will find out.
We'll figure that out.
Oh, my Lord, I'm asking because they use these buildings as emergency sites for hurricanes and evacuations. 50, 75 gallons ain't gonna cut it. You need to be able to carry it for 3 days.
Is there a place?
Because if electricity's out, you can't pump diesel fuel.
Is there a place to put a bigger tank?
That's why I was asking you. I didn't see the tank.
There might be an option for you to add another tank outside
Do
of
you have
it.
generators
And with a handle.
in the use system?
I know how much.
How much fuel you got?
What's the capacity of the tank?
At the elementary school. I'm not sure. I thought it was as large as we could get for that generator.
I'll check on that too, but it's
Probably need
probably 100 gallons is what I'm thinking.
But we don't use ours as a site, that as an emergency center.
Richard, should the county have some, should the county know what the outfit of the generator should be, and what the capacity of the tank should be?
Well, when they're on the evacuation list, it goes to another criteria, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they'll be in the gym, they're not gonna be in the auditorium.
That's correct. That is correct, yeah.
The gym's not tied in with this.
Is it generator equipped? Yeah.
It already is.
And we got a
Both
quick,
gyms.
and we got a quick connect on the middle school as well. For a generator, you have a generator pulled in. It's ready to be hooked up.
The reason I ask all this is I know the state surveying these evacuation sites says what's capable and what's not capable.
The state made sure that all that was done before these buildings were
Yes, ma'am.
approved to be occupied.
Yes.
So,
Richard, is that
Okay. We'll get Bright on the phone.